So I'm here today in front of Waterfront School and the Harbourfront Community Centre with my son Noah, who has been going to the school for all his life. My family, we actually live up in the Kensington Market area, but my family have been coming to the Waterfront School now since 2003. There was a number of reasons we came down to this school, but one of the main reasons was the community down here and the setting for the kids at this school and the community centre. Unfortunately, several years ago, with the expansion of the airport, things have become appallingly shameful for the kids and for the community here because of many reasons. Number one would be the traffic that we put up with every day here as parents. And as a parent who picks up my child and drops him off every morning, picks him up every afternoon, I can tell you that for the past several years, 3 or 4 years, on a daily basis, I've been harassed by either police, by private security hired by the Toronto Port Authority and Border Air, and even the community centre. We're parents picking up our kids. Mainly the harassment comes from cab drivers and limo drivers who for the last 3.5 years have parked in our school parking lot where we pick up the kids after school and drop them off in the morning. When we get harassed by them, we've been sworn at, we've been called names, we've been threatened with their vehicles. We've had the police threaten us instead of them. It's so shameful down here that such a beautiful environment has been virtually ruined by this airport. And the thought of bringing jets now into this environment is even more shameful. This neighborhood was once a very quiet, picturesque neighborhood. And I'm sure you can hear behind me what's going on. It's non-stop. When you bring your kid to school at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're often met with a tanker full of jet fuel. This is the kind of thing that the kids put up with. It's only in the last year that the kids had a green space that had been protected by a fence large enough to keep strangers out. And as you can see behind me, there's really no protection on a daily basis from people using the airport, everybody using the community centre from being near the kids. We've complained about these things, and yet we're the ones who get harassed on a daily basis. In fact, when I was asked to film this with my son today, just waiting over there in the park, we found out that the Toronto Port Authority called the police on us. Can you believe that? There was 2 parents, 2 children, and a 2-man film crew, and they called the police on us because we were taking film. They could see clearly what we were doing. And the Toronto Port Authority have been harassing the people of this community in a number of ways. It's not fair to the kids. The kids have not received the support they should from the city, including the community centre, from the Toronto District School Board, from the administration of the school. There's been virtually nobody speaking on behalf of the kids until just recently. Parents have complained bitterly about their treatment and about the conditions for their kids for the past 4 years. Just look at the environment in terms of on a daily basis when this whole area is filled with taxi cabs that idle their engines non-stop, especially in the winter. The kids are not only going to be exposed to jet fumes, but all the fumes from traffic that's backed up. It was only a few years ago, actually, that Waterfront School got a crossing guard. And that was the result of parents complaining about how unsafe this intersection is. It's still unsafe. It's still very unsafe for the kids, as is the one just north of us. Mainly because of airport traffic, which is quadrupled, maybe 10 times what it used to be when it was just a smaller airport. The thought of jets coming into this airport is going to totally disrupt this community. And I would ask you, even as a person who comes down here to use the school, the facilities from another community, is that what you want? I'd ask you to write your city councillor, write the chair of the Toronto District School Board, write to Mayor Rob Ford, and tell them that this is not the way you want this community to be treated by the Toronto Port Authority and by Border Air. I can tell you as a parent here that the Toronto Port Authority have been dishonest with the parents, telling us one thing one day, another thing another day. They hire security who do not understand the situation with the school and with the community center. I have dealt with police officers who did not know that this was a school behind us right here and that this was a community center while they direct traffic in and out of the school. They had to be told by parents that this was a school. I would ask you why Toronto Port Authority would hire off-duty police officers to direct traffic that were brought in from other jurisdictions and not a police officer who knows this community. That's what I was told by a police officer when he was hired here. He didn't know this neighborhood at all. So that's why they feel comfortable harassing the parents and the community members who are opposed to not only the expansion of the airport, but further jets coming into the community. Please say no to jets. From my son Noah and from myself and from the majority of people who are thinking clearly down here at the Little Norway community. Just say no to jets, please.